This, definitely have also faced a lot of challenges. Interdependence has been weaponized to some extent. You can see it in the kind of imposition of tariffs that came from the United States, and also how, for instance, energy demand and supplies also became, let's say, beholden to geopolitics itself. In the kind of dynamics that played out between US and India, as relating to like Russian energy, for instance. So you see that things are connected to a large extent. So none of the geopolitical regions are really in silos, so to say. So what is happening in West Asia definitely has having an impact in terms of how a lot of countries, for example, in the Indo-Pacific, are having to relook at, let's say, what we talk about as resilience of supply chains, right? And one of the most immediately impacted supply chain is that of, supply of energy of different kinds. And as we know, both Iran as well as many of the Gulf countries are major suppliers of energy to many countries in the world. So definitely, I think as we see the region becoming more volatile, there will be a lot of pressure on many of the Indo-Pacific countries to recalibrate and relook at the sources of supplies, and to what extent within the region itself what these countries can do. And when I say within the region, Indo-Pacific is a very flexible geopolitical region, right? Many countries have their definitions of which are the countries in the Indo-Pacific. So to say, I think, to sort of sum it, I think there is going to be a lot of recalibration in terms of the sources of supplies, in terms of traditional energy sources, because a lot of the Indo-Pacific countries which are in different stages of development still rely on many traditional sources of energy. That is one. The second is, I think this will be an inflection point of some sort, a point of departure for a lot of these countries also to rethink about the new sources of energy. As we talk about green transition, as we talk about newer forms of energy, whether it is countries doubling down on civil nuclear energy and cooperating on it, whether it is countries doubling down on solar energy, whether it is countries doubling down, for example, on the supply chain of electric vehicles, right? And that has a lot of role to play in terms of how we relook, or how the Indo-Pacific countries relook at cooperation regarding the whole supply chain.